Audience attention. Color guard attention. Color guard advance. Proper hand salute. Please stand up. Sorry. Color guard halt. Please post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Troop at ease.
You may be seated. Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome. Wow, we really got a crowd here. Welcome. My name is Mike Manningham. I'll be Master of Ceremonies here today. So if anybody gets a little bit long-winded, I have my hook here. We'll just bring them right off the stage. But there's nobody for me. So welcome, honored guests, scoutmasters, scouts, friends, and family to this very prestigious occasion. Eagle Scout rank is the highest rank a scout can earn. It's earned through diligence, through hard work, and through merit badge collection. Now, a lot of this work and merit badges, when we talk about that, we think about, oh yeah, you could do those in a couple of days, right? No, some of them take months, if not years, to complete. So this is absolutely the pinnacle of their scouting career for these young men tonight. Before we begin, I'd like to ask Pastor Stu Merkel to come up and give us an invocation, please. Stu?
Would you bow your heads with me, please? Most gracious Heavenly Father, we welcome you to this day, a day thanking you for your abundant blessings. Lord, we ask you to join us in this celebration of Sam Vokes and Tom Kent and Stephen Sandor, Roden Sluis, and Nicholas Basilio in their attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. Use this ceremony, Lord, to inspire vision and to encourage this troop to follow in the Eagle path. Help us give well-deserved praise and honor, and to also realize that becoming an Eagle Scout is not so much a destination, but a way of life. We acknowledge your guidance in helping boys and girls and adults to work together to build leadership and appreciation of the outdoors, even when they were unaware of your presence. Lord, you forged the hills and the mountains these young men have hiked and climbed. Your hands formed the lakes and the oceans that they swam. You know each animal and plant that they have watched with wonder and awe. And you protected them from the elements, provided the food to cook and eat, and empowered the fires that warmed them. You are the one who sharpens our minds every day to learn skills, facts, and first aid, how to lead and how to follow. Lord, continue to watch over these young men as they grow into adults, and give the adults the patience and wisdom to guide them as well as the other eagles to be. In your precious Son's name, we pray. Amen. And before I turn it back over, I just want to say welcome to Faith Community Church. We do appreciate having a scouting presence, and we are glad that all of you were able to be here in this place today. So welcome to both our church and to this very, very, very special event today.
Thank you, Pastor. I'd like to turn it over to Tyler and Logan for the opening candlelight ceremony.
Start off, Scouts. Scout salute. Scout time. Please join me in the Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. 2. From the eternal light, we light the red candle. The red of my flag is the lifeblood of brave men ready to die or worthily live for this, our country. From the eternal light, we light the white candle. The white of my flag is for purity, cleanliness of purpose, thought, word, and deed. From the eternal light, we light the blue candle. The blue of my flag is for faith and loyalty, like the eternal blue of the star-filled heavens. A scout is trustworthy. A scout tells the truth. He keeps his promises. Honesty is part of his code of conduct. People can always depend on him. A scout is loyal. A scout is true to his family, friends, scout leaders, school, nation, and world community. A scout is helpful. A scout is concerned about other people. He willingly volunteers to help people without expecting payments or reward. A scout is friendly. A scout is a friend to all. He is a brother to other scouts. He seeks to understand others. He respects those with ideas and customs that are different from his own. A scout is courteous. A scout is polite to everyone regardless of age or position. He knows that good manners make it easier for people to get along together. A scout is kind. A scout understands there is strength in being gentle. He treats others as he wants to be treated. A scout is obedient. A scout follows the rules of his family, school, and troop. He obeys the laws of his community and country. If he thinks these rules and laws are unfair, he tries to have them changed in an orderly manner rather than disobey them. A scout is cheerful. A scout looks for the bright side of life. He cheerfully does tasks that comes his way. He tries to make others happy. A scout is thrifty. A scout works to pay his way and to help others. He saves for the future. He protects and conserves natural resources, and he carefully uses time and property. A scout is brave. A scout can face danger even if he is afraid. He has the courage to stand for what he thinks is right, even if others laugh at him or threaten him.
scout is clean. A scout keeps his body and mind fit and clean. He goes around with those who believe in living by the same ideals. He helps keep his home and community clean. Scout is reverent. A scout is reverent towards God. He is faithful in his religious duties. He respects the belief of others.
Thank you, Logan and Tyler. They did a great job, didn't they? I think give them a hand. It's not easy getting up in front of all you happy, smiling faces here, but they did it, and they did a good job. We've come to the time in our program where we are to honor, as this is a court of honor, the recipients of the Eagle Scout Award. We recognize all of their accomplishments in doing this. So this afternoon, 5 young men will be recognized for receiving the rank of Eagle. Sam, Tom, Stephen, Broden, and Nick. Each of these young men have been tested along the scouting trail and proudly wear at least 21 of the aforesaid merit badges. Each has had issues and problems along the way and challenges along the way. They've overcome those. They've worked for their community. They found that in serving, it's truly better to be served, to serve than to be served. Honor God, please bring forward the Eagle Scout candidates.
This is the voice of the eagle whose height you have struggled to reach. I remember when you came to the base of the cliff and how you looked up with ambition and determination. Look back at the experiences you have encountered in your ascent. These experiences should not be forgotten. Do you remember when you took your first step on the Eagle Trail? With those first steps, you began to build yourself physically, mentally, morally. You started living the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. Soon you learned the symbolism inherited by the Scout Badge. You learned that there are 3 points to the treefold, which stand for the 3 parts of the Scouts, which is oath to duty to God, to country, to duty to other people, and duty to yourself. You learned important ideals in scouting, truth and knowledge. These are symbolized by 2 stars on the side of your badge. These stars are like those of the great outdoors which you've enjoyed on hikes and campouts. In addition, the eagle of the shield of the United States, you are further reminded of your duty to country. You pledge to support and preserve its freedom. Pointing skyward to the sign of the north, taken from the mariner's compass, it's a reminder of your duty to God and your obligation to respect religious convictions of others. From here, the trail led through basic outdoor skills to the second-class rank. This badge, with the corners and the scrolls turned up in a scout smile, admonished you to be prepared. The overhead knot reminds you to do a daily turn. At this point in the trail, some stopped to catch their breath before continuing. But you began to study more and work harder. Almost before you knew it, you became a first-class scout. The badge you received is a combination of both tenderfoot and second class, reminding us that there is much more to being a scout than just attending meetings. Here you were tempted to remain, but your ambition stirred you on. The variety of merit badges gave you interest and free rein. You took the lead, showing others the way, and it didn't take long before the first obstacle in the trail had been overcome. You were a Star Scout. Life rank was reached more slowly. The trail had become steeper and the merit badges harder. Fewer scouts seemed to be headed in your direction, and you looked back and saw the crowds behind you. You looked up and saw a few above you with the same determination which you have started your climb when you continued up the trail. You learned that leadership was leading, not driving, not pushing. Leading was by example, and that is what's best. The life rank symbolized by a heart with a first-class badge. The badge of scouting is imposed thereon. At this point of the trail became harder, it became tougher, but it also became more interesting. The original principles of the Scout Oath and the Scout Law now had fuller meaning. Your understanding of them was much greater. As a result, your character unfolded. You became more of a man. Your leadership and ability expanded into a valuable asset. Your mind developed and your wisdom increased. And now you stand on top of the mountain, and it's not the end of the trail, nor is it the beginning. Almost your whole life lies ahead of you. Your part in our country's building from the past may be small, and your claim to distinction and honor may rest on no basis at all. But the future is yours for the choosing. From your action, the judgment must come. The need for service to your country is greater than all of you have previously done. When this drama has finally ended, and the curtain is lowered at last, you must rest upon the things you've accomplished, not the dreams of the past. The eagle has spoken.
I could introduce now Jim Oshega and Nick Koss.
Could the honor guard please bring forward the Eagles' parents? Parents who want to stand up, the honor guard will come up to the front and stand behind your scout. Eagles, you can rise too. Just kind of push them forward. We got a full stage, sorry, so thanks a little bit. It's great. So, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming. Sorry, it's kind of there's so many of them up here. This takes a little bit more logistics to get it all set up. Alrighty. So, by the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor, by the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege and pleasure to announce each of you as an Eagle Scout. Congratulations. So now I'll ask your mother to pin on your Eagle Scout a pin, or your badge, your ribbon. So you can do it. So you have it come on front, so put it on the pocket. Anyone got a first aid kit just in case? Done? Great. Okay. No one will know the unnumbered acts of self-sacrifice and helpfulness from the mother of these Eagle Scouts, from which led us to this day. As a symbol of what if your mother has made possible, the court will now ask you to present her with a miniature eagle pin. So you guys got your pins? Go pin it on her, or you can hand it. In her honor. Now I'll ask your fathers to replace your troop neckerchief with your eagle neckerchief. Good. Your father has stood by you over the years and offered his encouragement and assistance as a symbol of what he has contributed to your attainment of this award. Will you present to him this Eagle Dad pin, which you will be proud to wear in your honor?
Hello everyone, my name is Nick Koss. I'm the current Scoutmaster of Troop 316. As Scoutmaster of Troop 316, it is my pleasure to present each of you with your Eagle Scout certificate. So first off, Sam Vakes. Thomas Kent. Steven Sandor, Broden Sluice, and then the one on the end is my first as in Scoutmaster, my first Eagle Scout, so I'm going to go give it to Nick Peachlow. All right, and on behalf of Troop 316, so you see right now they're wearing the Eagle Scout neckerchief, and then they also have a woggle on for their, or no, this isn't a woggle, what's it called? Turk's head knot? Okay, so they're all wearing Turk's head. They decided for their ceremony to intertwine the eagle with their troop neckerchief. But we have a slide that we give out in the troops, so I'm just going to give the official Eagle Scout next slide to each of the boys as well on behalf of Troop 316 to symbolize the other part of what we recognize you guys with on a Court of Honor date. So I'm going to hand out one to each of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the latest Eagle Scouts of Troop 316, presenting Eagle Scout Sam Vakes, Eagle Scout Thomas Kent, Eagle Scout Steven Sandor, Eagle Scout Broden Sluice, and Eagle Scout Nicholas Peachlow. All right, if the honor guard could come back up to escort the parents back to their seats. So in addition to the Eagle Scout Award itself, boys also have the option to earn Eagle Palms for additional stuff that they do active in scouting. So each of the boys, Tom, Stephen, Broden, and Nick, they each received palms as part of their participation in the program. So we're going to hand those out really quick to each of the individual boys who received that. So first off, let's start with Tom's. All right, and Tom will be receiving a bronze palm, a silver palm, and a gold palm. Yep, so for the palms, they kind of go on increments of 5 in terms of merit badges. So the bronze one is for 5 additional merit badges, silver for 10, and then gold for 15 above the 21 that is required for Eagle Scout. Other way around. Gold is 10, silver is 15. Yep. Thank you for the correction. All right. And then Stephen Sandor will be receiving 2 bronze, a gold, and a silver as well. Broden Sluice has 1 bronze Eagle Palm. And Nick Peachlow will be receiving a bronze and a gold Eagle Palm. All right, just a couple more things to hand out. So next thing, for every Eagle Scout that came in through Troop 316 over the past few years, we've been giving them a gift of a compass engraved with their name and the date they received Eagle. And we had a couple that we weren't able to hand out just yet, so we're going to hand those out really quickly. So if Sam, you'd accept this gift from Troop 316, an engraved compass for your work towards Eagle Scout. Yep, you're welcome. Next one is Stephen Sandor. Tom, you already got yours. The last one goes to Broden. And then last but not least, Jim, if you could grab that white box right underneath that certificate. For Nick, like I mentioned earlier, Nick's my first Eagle Scout as Scoutmaster. And if you noticed up in front, we have this plaque up here that has every Eagle that has ever achieved Eagle Scout within Troop 316. So as I was looking at other things, other options for gifts that we could do, looking at all different things. What I ultimately decided on was to go the route more so towards symbolism and hopefully continuing this with future Eagle Scouts in our troop. So Nick is going to be presented with a plaque that says, "Presented to Nicholas J. Peachlow in recognition for your outstanding accomplishment and effort of achieving the rank of Eagle Scout, Troop 316, March 5th, 2025. Once an Eagle, always an Eagle." And on the back is a plate that has his name and date he received Eagle, and this one directly matches the same one that is on the Eagle plaque. So he'll always have a little piece of the troop with him whenever he sees this plaque as well. All right. Now here's the point where we get to tell you a little bit about all these boys. So first and foremost, I'm going to start by talking about Sam. So Sam has this sense of confidence that I have never come across necessarily in my life. Whenever I had a question for him as his Eagle coach, he was always right on the ball. He knew exactly what he was going to say. There was no, I don't think there was any like breath in between. He was like, okay, I'm going to do this, and this. And it was just awesome to see how he was able to kind of think of all those things internally and make a plan. It really blew me away when you were working on your project. And for Sam's project, he built benches for the Milwaukee County Zoo for a little tucked away area that they use for a lot of different programming classes that they do. And they really like the results of that project, and it's been put to good use, so congratulations, Sam. Next, I'm going to speak about Tom. So a lot of the times when I say Tom's name, it's with a big exclamation because I'm having to correct something. Whether it's things related to his time in scouting, or if it was just randomly seeing him at Culver's, and the next thing I know, there's just a chair sliding against my back. If that gives you a little sense of Tom's personality, just a very great, open-minded, very energetic personality, always willing to ask questions. A lot of his questions when it came to merit badges came in relation to Michael Scott Paper Company and Dunder Mifflin, but we eventually got there. And again, Tom built benches for his Eagle project, and these were benefiting the tennis courts by Oak Creek High School. And again, they've really enjoyed them, and it's been put to good use. So congratulations, Tom. Stephen has always been a great member of this troop. He has a demeanor that is very well balanced with the rest of the boys. So it always seemed like when the boys were getting off track, there was part of Stephen that was always able to kind of bring them back together and get them back on track. So thank you, Stephen, for that. Stephen is the first person I would always see sprinting out of camp every year at summer camp to go straight to the trading post and get slushies. So every year it seemed like it was a year after year record, and I'll let him speak more to that if anyone has questions regarding that. But I wanted to bring that up because it's probably one of my favorite memories of Stephen, just to constantly see him either going down that hill into the trading post or coming back with a slushie wherever he may have been before that. And he did a great Eagle project benefiting Cedar Hills. A display case with a nice glass enclosure as well, and backlit lights benefiting anything that the elementary school would like to put in there, such as art or any other things like that. So again, congratulations, Stephen. Broden is very even-keeled, and one thing I've recognized about Broden, especially this past year up at summer camp, is there's not really much that necessarily shakes him. When we had different things going on, whether it was an issue in camp, or if it was struggling to fit something into someplace when we were packing up, he always just kind of took a deep breath, analyzed what he was doing, and went about it in stride. He was our SPL last year at summer camp, and he did an absolutely fantastic job. It's been great to see him grow within our troop. And one thing to mention is Sam and Broden actually came into our troop midway through their Boy Scout career, and they stuck around till the end. So it's been an honor to see you. And Broden also did a project for West Middle School, and he built some cubby units for the first LEGO League, correct? Not robotics yet. First LEGO League for them to put different things in for their trays and different items that they use for competitions and stuff like that. So congratulations again, Broden. All right, and then Nick. So Nick, again, he has one of those personalities where he's very energetic. One of those personalities where I know multiple times I've had to look at him and say, would you just go away? No, but in all good fun, it's always a good time. Nick has been really great, especially over the last few months as we've brought some new scouts into the troop. He really has taken them under his wing, along with Tyler, our SPL, to make sure that they feel comfortable, they know what the program is, and ultimately, after his time as a youth, he's also stuck around and was active in helping us in rake advancements and different merit badges that we've been working on with the boys. And Nick, he also built benches for his Eagle project, and they were for the VA right overlooking AmFam Field, Miller Park, and they have been very grateful. I think within a day or two, we got pictures back of the veterans using the benches and very appreciative. So again, congratulations, Nick. All right, I'm going to turn it over to my predecessor as Scoutmaster, Mr. James Onsager.
Thank you, Nick. Good afternoon, everybody. So anyway, today is a great day of celebration. It's for me and also a moment of reflection and gratitude. I've had the honor and privilege of serving as Scoutmaster for all 5 of these outstanding young men for up to 4 years. Even before that, I had the joy of knowing Tom, Stephen, and Nick during my time as Cubmaster of PAC 316. So even before they came to troop, I was there a little longer because they were a little older than Logan, but I have some memories of each of them there. So watching them take some of their earliest steps in their scouting journey, and more recently, Tom and Stephen have helped found Venturing Crew 77, where I continue serving as crew advisor. So hence the green uniform might look a little different that's a crew uniform as opposed to a troop. So if anyone's wondering why it's different, and there's some crew members here today, but Tom and Stephen helped found Crew 77, which is actually based in Faith Community Church here. But to say this is a proud moment would be an understatement. Watching their growth over these many years across dens, patrols, campouts, projects, and now to Eagle has been one of the greatest privileges of my time in scouting. It's not every day that we get to honor 5 scouts earning the rank of Eagle. It's a big deal, not just because of the rarity, but because of what it represents. Years of dedication, effort, service, and character. Not just individuals, but as leaders and teammates. Each of these young men have made a choice somewhere along the way, a choice to set a goal. I want to become an Eagle Scout. Simple, right? And anyone who has been on this path knows it's not an easy one. Earning Eagle isn't about checking boxes. It's about learning to lead, serve, and most importantly, to follow through. One of the most important lessons that comes with a goal like that is it doesn't happen by accident. It happens by intentional action. Setting priorities, managing time, staying committed when life gets complicated. Because the biggest threat to our goals is not failure, it's delay. The voice in our head says, I'll do that later. Let me share you a story of one of the scouts we're honoring today. And Nick's already talked to him a bit, but it's about Stephen. So hopefully he doesn't mind telling the story. But early in his scouting career, Stephen faced a serious challenge. It was the BSA swim test. But for many scouts, it's a quick rite of passage, but even for Stephen, it was a real obstacle. For some time, he kept trying, or a couple of years at summer camp, and just, couldn't make it happen. But he didn't give up. He practiced, he trained, and he kept his eye on that prize. And even though it was frustrating to him, he eventually, through determination and work, he passed that swim test. And with that, the whole world opened up. Swimming at summer camp, water-based merit badges, he even went kayaking with the venturing crew last year, all because he was able to get that swim test done. But it's a perfect example of what scouting is about, growing through perseverance. And that's true for all 5 scouts that we're recognizing today. Each of them had their own setbacks and their own projects and their own path, their own doubts, their own version of the swim test, but they kept going. They adjusted and they grew. And eventually they reached the summit. And in true Troop 316 tradition, I believe all 5 of them turned in their Eagle binders before a month before turning 18. So. Because apparently nothing motivates like a looming birthday deadline and maybe some scout leaders and parents sending them friendly reminders that this deadline's coming. To the younger scouts here, learn from their example. It's okay if the trail gets rough. It's okay if it takes longer than expected. What matters is that you keep showing up, you keep working, and you keep growing. And don't let someday be I'll get that done later, be the reason why you never finish. To our 5 Eagles, you've earned more than a badge today. You've earned knowledge that you can do hard things, that you can set a goal and commit to it, and cross the finish line with pride and purpose. That lesson will carry you far in your careers, your families, your communities, and your lives. Congratulations, Eagles. Your wings are earned. Now it's time to fly. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim and Nick. Move this a little bit. Thanks. Some of the things that Jim covered are, that dedication and everything in scouting. One of the things that we've seen here tonight is something new, actually, and it's not practiced by many troops, and that is some of the boys who crossed over from Cub Scouts into Boy Scouts are now wearing 2 neckerchiefs because they received one when they crossed over into Boy Scouts. But it wasn't just a neckerchief. It was a special neckerchief that was given to them by one of the boys who had worn it for a number of years, a former scout. And that's why we have the Turk's heads here, like this, because the regular slide would not fit over both neckerchiefs. So, just real quick though, I don't know if a lot of you do know this because I've said it before, but the Turk's head was a symbol of scouting and still is a symbol of scouting for many, many years. The reason why we have a Turk's head is because on a ship, on an old sailing ship back in the olden days, on the ship's wheel, they had all these spokes. You see that? You ever see that thing on Popeye when he's, doing this with that's the ship's wheel, and that's the steer the ship. When it was dark, there was no light on in the wheelhouse, and so the sailors could not see where the ship was, when the rudder of the ship was amidships or straight up and down on the ship's wheel. So on the uppermost spoke of the ship's wheel, they placed the Turk's head. That goes in conjunction with the compass, and the fleur-de-lis is the north point on a mariner's compass. You see the fleur-de-lis on all the neckerchiefs, everything that, basically in scouting, the patch that they have here is the fleur-de-lis. So those two work in conjunction with each other to guide the scout on his path, to keep him straight and in the right direction. With that said, it's my honor to introduce tonight the mayor of Oak Creek, and I hope I get this right, Dan Bokowitz. Is that right? Was it close? I'm sorry, that's why I didn't pronounce all of the boys' names, because I knew I would butcher them. Dan, the floor is yours.
Thank you. It is a difficult name to say. That's why I simply go by Mayor Dan. It's more personable and it kind of kicks down barriers. First of all, thank you for having me. I want to offer some simple thank yous for everybody that came out to honor these 5 individuals. It's a big day, and I want to congratulate you 5 individuals right off the get-go on behalf of the city of Oak Creek. Myself, we could not be prouder to count you in our ranks, so thank you. I want to talk just a little bit about their journey, but first I need some advice from you guys. I've never been a scout, so I try to do the scouting thing. I'm a firm believer in servant leadership, and I've been to a number of these scouting events, and I've learned quite a bit. In your scouting oath, you should be helpful, correct? Kind, and a scout is always prepared, correct? So if I offer up some kindness to the crowd, some helpfulness to an individual here, that helps us kind of be prepared. That's kind of the scouting way, correct? I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to try to check those 3 things off right now. Mike, you may need that. Mike may need that for me, and that's kindness for you folks, because I tend to ramble. But in all seriousness, you've heard about their projects and their journey. They didn't do this journey alone. Their parents, their mentors, their relatives, their scoutmasters, their friends were all part of this journey. And this journey is about a 12-year journey, if I'm correct. This is nothing to take lightly what they've accomplished today. Eagle Scouts are very special. Very rare, few attain that rank. And they do it by earning the merit badges, and you heard all the speeches. More importantly, they're learning lessons along the way. And life's kind of made up of moments. You never know when a moment's going to be a memory. But as they went through, that's what they got. In those moments, they got memories. And these memories will come back to serve you later in life in whatever you endeavor to do. Whether it's become an elected official, an astronaut, an engineer, you are leaders. And you're now leaders to the scouts out there now, and you're a role model to them. That's very important and nothing to be taken lightly for. This journey, this 12-year journey, is in preparation of what they're doing, and this is just a small step of their accomplishments of what they're going to do in life. I'm often asked, do you worry about the next generation? Oh, I'm an older guy, and the kids today don't do what we do. The kids are fine. All we need to do is have trust in them to do the right things, and trust them with the decisions. Look at these 5. It's incredible. And more impressively, I've been to a number of Eagle Scout ceremonies, and I've learned quite a bit as my time as mayor. I kind of spit those facts out to you about how many get in. But usually, It's one scout. Today we're here with 5. Their journeys all just didn't magically end like graduation day for us in high school. They all finished up at different times, and I just learned this coming in here. Sam, I think you wrapped up almost a year ago? Year and a half. And you know what Sam said? I'll wait for the next guy. And the next guy waited for the next guy. That's a brotherhood. That is unselfishness. That's leadership. That's servant leadership. And I applaud you guys for that. It's very easy for somebody that makes a rank like this or makes an accomplishment to take the spotlight and not share that spotlight. Unselfishness is something I've never really seen like this before. So, boys, I'm going to congratulate you once again, wish you well in everything you do. I'm not going to wish you luck because you're not going to need it. You are very well prepared, and I have utmost faith you'll accomplish everything you set out to do. We do have proclamations from the city of Oak Creek for you. Thank you. Tell you what, I'll take them. And oh, they are in order. Thank you. And what I'm going to do before I yield this to the next speaker, I am going to present each of them with their proclamation. You probably don't want me reading all 5 of them. Otherwise, I'll get that hook for sure. I'm going to congratulate them once again. And again, thank you for having me. And more importantly, for those of you that are connected to these individuals, thank you for your influence on them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bukiewicz. I got it right that time. What? Berkowitz. Okay. Oh, what was that? Bottle of water, sorry. Rarely do we see this, but the troop actually spans 2 cities. It spans Franklin and Oak Creek. And so I have a distinct pleasure in welcoming the Mayor of Franklin, Mayor John Nelson.
I'll move this up, Dan. Well, good afternoon, and I agree, this is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to be part of this ceremony. And it's a ceremony about sacrifice, it's a ceremony about community, and it's a ceremony about being self-driven. And these 5 young men, because they are men, have displayed those tasks to the highest level in scouting. Not easy. And I was a scout here in Franklin, Pac 582. Never went to the rank of Boy Scout, but some of my friends did. This is amazing to learn the journey, the 12-year journey, the sacrifice, the things that they had to give up, their family sacrifice with moving things around nonstop, and to make that commitment is truly a test and a testament of their character. And the community involvement, the community leaders that we know, a lot of them were involved in scouting from very little on to set those core values. And those core values travel through life. You keep those core values in your leadership skills, you will be the ones that are calling the shots. You will be the ones that your community trusts, your family, your friends. They look to you for your leadership. And many times it starts with scouting. So you are to be commended for that. It's a big time accomplishment. So when I was asked to put forth a mayoral proclamation, I had talked to another elected official who also was in scouting, and talked about the commitments, talked about what it takes to achieve that, and where certain people that we knew in leadership roles within the city and within communities around us and in the workforce, and where they're at and where they started with, and they all started in scouting. So it is amazing if you look at the trends and who are the leaders, and that they have that scouting connection. So that's not to be taken lightly, and putting together this for each of you, I'd like to definitely present this. It's the City of Franklin proclamation from me to each of you. I'm only going to read one of them, okay? So Mr. Kent, this is yours first. So what we'll do is I'll read this, and I'll present each of you when I go back there and get those. It's a certificate of achievement. Mr. Thomas Kent, whereas the development of our youth, both boys and girls, is greatly enhanced by active participation in scouting, and whereas Thomas Kent, by study, hard work, and perseverance, has successfully progressed through various ranks in scouting, and whereas such dedication and perseverance has resulted in Thomas Kent earning the highest award in scouting, that of Eagle Scout, and whereas Thomas Kent's achievement has broadened his knowledge and experience and will help in all of his future endeavors, and whereas Thomas Kent's parents, his scouting leaders, friends, and the community are proud of his achievement. Whereas Thomas Kent, now therefore, I, Mayor John R. Nelson, present this certificate of achievement to Thomas Kent on this occasion of him becoming an Eagle Scout, and ask all residents of Franklin to join congratulating Thomas Kent on his outstanding achievement. Dated the 17th of May, 2025, Franklin, Wisconsin. So, what I'd like to do is I will pull out every one of theirs. I'll just state their name, they come up, and we'll present it that way. Sam? Steven? Thank you all again. Well done, gentlemen.
He's a lot taller than me. Thank you, Mayor Nelson. At this point, we have Nick to do the Eagle Charge. Oh no, wait a minute. Hang on, I forgot somebody. I would never forget Dennis. How could I forget Dennis? I'd like to introduce Dennis Mazinski, former Scoutmaster of Troop 316. He has a special presentation for the boys. They're going to need a hand cart to take some of this stuff home. Oh, yours is small. Okay, and you can tell us all about what it is, right, Dennis? All right, Dennis Mazinski.
Thank you. Senior, Mr. Costa accosted me on the way up here. Did you say who I was? Oh, okay, cool. In case you didn't say it right, I was one of the original founders of Troop 316 back when Cedar Hill School was started in 1966. And been Scoutmaster for a bunch of years and everything else in between. Somewhere at council they told me I'm here for 45 years I'm in scouting. Cool. What I'm here to do today is give these guys like a challenge coin. This is an American Silver Eagle. This one's a little bit older than they are. They're in their little presentation cases. And thinking about it, I'm like, how do I know these guys are Eagle Scouts? Well, just look at them. There's just, you can tell, all their uniforms, all these people, everything's all set, but in a week or so, the uniforms will get put away, and how am I going to know you're an Eagle Scout then? You're going to know you're an Eagle Scout because what you do, how you carry yourself, how you take care of the people around you. That's what Eagle Scouts do. So you're given this problem or not, you can decide. Going forward, how do you make that happen every day of your life? The world will present you with tons of issues. Some you'll know, some you won't know, just like your scouting activities. Some of the stuff you did, it was no big deal. Other stuff, you had to work at it really hard. So this challenge coin that we're getting is got two sides. There's the Eagle side, which is you guys, and then there's Lady Liberty on the front. So the coin has the American Eagle on the back with the American shield. Okay, shield kind of means that there's things happening. It's an offensive thing and it's a defensive thing. Is it protecting the eagle or is it protecting the rest of the people? You have to kind of think about that sometime when you're in a problem and you can't decide if you're the offensive side of the problem or the defensive side of the problem. You have to think about it, and the coin may help you think about that. The eagle also has some talons, and on one talon is an olive branch. You guys know what olive branches are? Sign of peace. So you should be working towards peace in your future. You've already proved you could do it now. The other talon holds arrows. Arrows means force is okay when it's deemed necessary. You need to use the force that's appropriate when it's appropriate. You need to make that decision. You won't have your Scoutmaster helping you on that one. You're going to make that decision. Also on this eagle coin, there's 13 stars. I'm trying to get a good answer from some of the Scout leaders around here, and I didn't get a really good one yet today, but anyway, the 13 stars typically means the colonies, right? Everything makes sense, Well, I don't believe that. I believe it means the Scout law. And, Mr. Mercinski, you're getting old. There's 12 Scout laws, but there's 13 stars. And most of the people, or back when I was Scoutmaster anyway, we made you guys make up your own. Going into star, you had to make up your own 13th point of the Scout law. And that's why there's 13 points on that side. So you go over all that stuff and you think about it when you're facing a difficult problem. In your future, you can rub on the coin, carry the coin. I challenge you all to carry the coins for the rest of your lives, if you can. I know there's certain government things where you can't carry a coin. Maybe you'll get to that. But use the coin to help you think about what you're supposed to do in this situation. So now, and sometimes you just can't figure it out. So if you rubbed on the coin and thought about it and used all the resources you have and you can't think of it, I challenge you to turn the coin over. And on that side of the coin, the Lady Liberty coin, is the Walking Lady. You guys know what a Walking Lady is all about? Anybody? You're all just sitting here. Walking Lady is supposedly the most beautiful person ever put on a coin in any country in the world. And I would wish you would look at that coin and go, the most beautiful person I know, call her Mom. Okay? Okay, think if what you do is going to make Mom happy, maybe that's the way you do it. If you think what you're going to do is going to make Mom sad, maybe that's not the best thing in the world to do. So congratulations on you're making your eagle. So. It's probably way too long. Nicholas.
Thank you, Dennis. Dennis has done that for many years now with Eagle Scouts, and it's been a tradition for, I don't know, what, 25, 30 years? Okay, well, that was pretty close. All right. Well, thanks again, Dennis. Next, we have the Eagle Charge and Nick Koss.
Would all Eagle Scouts in attendance please join me in front of the stage? You guys go down. Very good. Or actually just stand right there. All right, we'll start out here on the far side. Please state your name, your troop, year you received Eagle, and where your troop was located out of. Oh, that one?
Okay.
You guys want to start again or no?
Well, I got the date now at least. My name is Greg Peterson, Troop 188 out of Racine, Wisconsin, and I got my Eagle in 1981.
My name is Tim Peterson. I'm from Troop 129 in Racine, Wisconsin, and I got my Eagle in 2024. I'm Darren Fields, and I am an alumni to Troop 316. I got my Eagle out of Troop 316 in 1995.
I'm Jim Onsager. I was with Troop 531 out of Franklin, Wisconsin in 1999.
I'm Logan Onsager, Troop 316, Oak Creek, Wisconsin, 2024.
I'm Tim Kent, and I was here with 316 out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and I was guided into 2018.
I'm Hassan Dakhak, Troop 316 out of Wisconsin, and I got my Eagle in 2022.
I'm Keegan Sluice. I went to Troop 221 in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and I think I got my Eagle Scout in 2021.
I am Brent Mandersana. I got my Eagle from Troop 32 out of Loves Park, Illinois in 2000.
Steve Jambor. I was out of Troop 506 in Greendale, and I got my Eagle in 1995.
I'm Kevin Stahoviak out of Troop 612 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I got my Eagle in 2008.
My name is Brendan Heides. I'm out of Troop 316. I got my Eagle Scout in 2023.
You guys as well.
I'm Nick Beachlow, Troop 316 out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin. I got mine in 2025.
My name is Broden Sluice out of Troop 316 in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and I got my Eagle in 2024.
I'm Stephen Sandor of Troop 316 out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and I got my Eagle Scout in the year of 2024.
Thomas Kent in Troop 316 in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, year 2024.
My name is Sam Bakes out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin, Troop 316, and I got my Eagle Scout in 2024.
And my name is Nick Koss, Oak Creek, Wisconsin, Troop 316, Eagle Scout class of 2015. All right, I'm going to lead all my fellow Eagles in the Eagle Scout Promise, so if everyone could join me in the Scout sign. Please repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to to the three promises of the Scout Oath, I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example, my rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop and in my community and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. Two. Fellow Eagles, you may be seated. I had one more thing that I wanted to award to the boys really quick while I'm still up here. But for those who don't know, before I served as Scoutmaster of the troop, I was the Life to Eagle coordinator. So I worked directly with all these boys in some way, shape, or form on their Eagle project, whether that was just going to them with advice and insight, providing that to them, or to serve as their project coach. Could I just quickly recognize Mr. Dennis Mersinski and Mr. Jeff Koss, two previous Scoutmasters, if you guys could please stand. These two predated me and Jim as Scoutmasters, so I wanted to recognize those in attendance. If I could also have any current or former Eagle or Scouts of Troop 316 in attendance, please stand and stay standing. And last but not least, any current or former committee members of Troop 316, could you please stand and stay standing? Over the course of our 37-year history as a troop, we've had a lot of people who have taken the time, whether it's in the capacity of a scout, as a leader, or anything in between, to help our boys advance within the program and achieve all they want to achieve. So I just wanted to recognize everyone associated with Troop 316 standing here today, because it's an absolute honor to work with you guys to help advance these boys within the program, expand scouting as a whole, and ultimately contributions by everyone standing, plus everyone else in this room today, play a role in these boys standing in front of you. So can we just get one more round of applause for everyone associated with Troop 316 and scouting in general. All right, and I'm just going to present them with a small token. It's another coin that's separate from the one Brzezinski gave out. It says, once an eagle, always an eagle on the front, and then it has the Eagle Scout promise on the back. So I'm going to hand these out to each one of you, and thank you for your time.
Good job. Good job, Nick. All right. And that's it for Nick for now. We're going to move on to each of the scouts. They have something to say. I know it's getting long. If you'd like to stand up, take a 7th inning stretch. No? Take me out to the ball game. No? No? Okay. That one didn't go over too well. Have the guys come up to the mic one at a time, and they have some things to say. So first is Sam.
A lot of you guys don't know me, but my name is Sam Vakes. I joined this troop right after COVID ended because the current troop that I was in just wasn't really doing it for me. that was 221, but now I'm in 316. I do still like that old troop, but I like this one better, I have to say. I'm very happy I joined with my fellow friend Brody, and I'm happy to be here I am today. I'm here to give special recognition to a few special people in my journey, and the first one I would like to recognize is my father, if he can please stand up. You know, he's known me for every moment of my life. And he's been there for me every single time I've ever needed him. Without a question, he's there. Gives me the best advice, whether it's hard to take sometimes, other times it's easier. In my Cub Scout and Boy Scout journey, I remember the fond moments of, you know, him watching me build my Pinewood Derby car. Totally wasn't just me, but to helping with my Eagle Scout project and guiding me in the things that I didn't know how to do, but he did, and I love him very much, and I'm very happy to have him as a father. Thank you. The next person I would like to recognize is my mother, who is unfortunately not able to be here as she's in Florida, but she has also known me my entire life and has supported me throughout everything that I have ever needed her to support me through. And I would like to say thank you, Mom. I love you very much. The third person I would like to recognize on my journey is Mr. Koss. Can you please stand up? Jeff Koss. I know him as Mr. Koss. Jeff Koss, known as Mr. Koss to me, has, ever since I've joined this troop, at first he was a pretty intimidating guy. I know that a lot of people that know him might not think that, but he was a little intimidating, doesn't smile much and you're not talking to him, but if you look at him now, he's just a jolly, smiling teddy bear that always cracks a joke around the campfire at summer camp and is, you know, giving me some advice when I have struggled to find an answer, and I'd like to say thank you very much. The next person I would like to recognize is the younger Mr. Koss, Nick Koss. Nick Koss was my Eagle coach and also my friend. He was there for me on my Eagle Scout project when I had absolutely no idea how to start, what I needed to do. He was there for me to brainstorm, do the paperwork, which I was very much struggling on. And without him, it would have been questionable if I was standing up here in front of all you guys today. Thank you, Nick. There are two more people I'd like to recognize in Bill and Allie Sluice. Can you please stand up? I have known Bill and Allie since about the beginning of elementary school. They are Brody's parents. Sorry to introduce them for you. But they're also my Cub Scout leaders back in elementary school, and I have tremendous memories from that, and with them, countless photos that I'm going to look back on when I'm older and be like, man, I miss them. I hope to see them later on in life and many more times. Thank you, Bill and Allie. I'd also like to thank everyone here in attendance for showing up and supporting me and my fellow Eagle Scouts and anyone else that you know along the scouting journey. Thank you very much. That is all from me.
Next, we have Thomas Kent.
I'm Thomas Kent. Just like Sam, first I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Not only is there 5 of us, so this is a pretty big crowd. My group alone would be like 10 people right here along the front and the back, I guess. But I'd like to give out some mentor pins. So starting, can both my parents stand up, please? They have already received their pins, but their pins aren't nearly enough of what they've done for me. From all the way I've started Cub Scouts when I became of age, all the way up to Eagle. They have been there to check my uniform, help me out, find my book, find my binder, drive me to the practices or whatever outing events there would be. My father would come on most of all the campouts, remind me to brush my teeth at the end of the night. I was reluctant to do that, and my mom would check at the end of the campout. She'd be like, but through thick and thin, I'm very appreciative for them. I obviously would not have gotten near to Gain Eagle without them, so they're a very big mentor in my life, and thank you. Next, I'd like Timothy Kent coming up, please. Come on up. Tim is my older brother, not bigger, but
Hey, more.
he's 5 years older than me, so he started Cub Scouts and kind of was my mentor throughout this whole journey, fitting so. So he knows all the guys, and he was our SPO when we were all just starting out, and he got Eagle, and he kind of showed me the ropes, and this actually was his uniform, so it's fitting. So he helped me. He was my Eagle coach, my primary Eagle coach throughout my journey, and he's the one that gave me the inspiration to make benches because he also made benches for his Eagle project. So without him, this would have been a harder journey. Thank you, Tim.
Ow.
My next one, I would like Mrs. Sue Sandover to come up, please. So out of all these Eagle Scouts with me, Steven has been with me through every single year of Cub Scouts and through Boy Scouts every single year. When campouts would come up and my mom would be hanging out at home, this is my second mom, by the way. So she would always be there to remind me when my dad would be like, oh, you don't need to brush your teeth. And she'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa. When my son went, you went. So we're always together. We went through this whole journey together, and she's a big part of my scouting journey. Thank you.
I want to say thank you so much for brushing your teeth and showering.
I didn't want to prick her, that's why I didn't put it on. Next, I would like Jeffrey Cost to come up, please. Jeffrey. Jeffrey. So he was my Scoutmaster throughout Boy Scouts, the beginning half. He was the one who kind of started most of the traditions and showed us how to tie a knot, you know, and he got us through the first couple ranks, and he was a big inspiration on how we all work together and how the campouts operated, and he taught us a lot how to set up a tent and taught us the brotherhood of sleeping together and the whole journey, you know. So thank you so much, Mr. Koss, and thank you for being part of my journey. Second last, I would like the other Koss, Nicholas Koss, please come up. Like he said before, he is our troop's Path to Eagle coordinator. So when I actually was working at Eagle, my brother was in college. So if I had any questions, he was at every single meeting. He followed me through the steps. He pointed out multiple of the merit badges that I needed to finish, and kind of helped me keep me on track. Every single meeting, he was like, hey, what's the next step, or where are you at? Is there anything I can do? And if there wasn't any question Tim couldn't answer, Nick was right there on the spot. So thank you so much throughout my journey. Sorry it's taking long. Last but not least, I'd like Mr. Onsager to come up, please. So, about halfway through my scouting journey, Mr. Onsager has been there with us. He joined because his son crossed over, and therefore he was a part of the troop now, and he found some errors and some holes in our leadership, and he took lead and became the new Scoutmaster. And he, as you can see by his uniform, he also continued on to being our founding lead advisor in the venturing crew as well. So as well through scouting and through venturing, he has led me and my fellow other scouts. So to that, thank you very much, and thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your time and patience. On to the next gentleman, Steven Sandor.
I will say I'm not a very talkative person, so I'll keep this brief. I'd like to start with Mr. Mike Manningham. Mr. Manningham, you have, at the beginning of my journey, I would like to thank you for basically being there along the whole way and kickstarting my journey into scouting. I wouldn't have done this without any of you. Next up, Mr. Kerry Kent. I wouldn't have been able to do any of my Eagle Scout project without him, as well as he guided me up throughout all of my scouting career and brought me great confidence. Next, Tim Kent. Same thing as your father. You had also guided me throughout my scouting career, and I wouldn't have been able to do any of the things I did as Eagle Scout without your guidance. Next, Mr. Jim Onsager. You were there at the beginning and the end of my scouting career, and I thank you very much for your honorable leadership and unwavering loyalty to Scouting. And finally, I would like to thank my mother. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're going to see some familiar faces. You just kind of deal with it. I would like to thank you not only for your contributions to Scouting, but also to my personal life. I can't state all the things that you've done, not only for this troop, but for us as a family. Me, my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, my uncle, and everyone else in my extended family. And I would like to give you the utmost thanks. Yeah. And then I just have some pins for the people in my family, my father, my mother, and my grandmother. I won't make you come up on stage. I'll give them to you personally. And then next up, we have Mr. Broden Sluis.
Okay, whoever I announce here for being a good mentor, you can just stand up to save time. I also forgot to take the pins out of the bags, so I'll hand them to you later. First, I'd like to recognize my parents, if both of you could stand up. My parents have been with me throughout my whole Scouting experience. Yeah, my whole life, really. Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, reminding me, get these deadlines done, reminded me to, actually get the requirements I needed turned in when I had them done. And they've overall just been there for me throughout the entire way, and I just love to thank them. I'd also like to thank my brother Keegan. He was with me. He was with me at my old pack and then my old troop, and I've just really followed in his footsteps. And he's been a big, a big person. I guess I can't think of the words right now. Most of my life, he's been a bigger person. Not so much now, but I've just looked up to him and really followed what he's done, and he's been a big, encouragement for me. Next up, I'd like to thank Jeff Koss, also known as Mr. Koss with a Q. When I first came to Troop 316 and met Jeff, I was in his car driving up to summer camp, and he told one of his classic jokes. We drove past the cemetery going into camp, and he pointed over and looked at me and said, people are dying to get in there. And that sums up who Jeff was as a person. He was very supporting, especially throughout my Eagle Scout project. He helped guide me through, how to build the shelves I built, since he has a lot more experience than me, and he donated so much, and I want to thank him. Next, I'd like to thank Nick Koss. Nick Koss has been a huge inspiration for me and has really guided me as my Eagle coach. Him along with his father really helped me plan and really get my Eagle Scout project done when I really only started seriously planning about a month and a half before it was due. And I really appreciate you, Nick. And last but not least, she is not here today, but I'd like to thank Susan Wanninger, who was my robotics coach in middle school, and then I also she helped me plan my Eagle Scout project since I did it for her robotics team. She unfortunately couldn't make it right now, but she was very supporting throughout the whole thing, and she's a good friend to this day. Now I'll hand it over to Nick Picholo.
All right, thank you. Before I hand out my mentor pins, could I have 2 people stand up? Can I have Wyatt Veer and Gina Boudreau please stand up? Yeah, stand. Mrs. Boudreau was my den leader when I was in PAC 316, about all 3 years when she was there. She was one of the best leaders that I had in that PAC. And along with Wyatt being there my entire time in the PAC, and then his 3 years in the troop, they both helped me get to where I was today. So thank you. All right, can I have Nick Koss please come up? Nick's getting his pin due to, he was my Eagle coach when I asked him to, and he gratefully said yes. He was my scouting mentor, and it's an honor to be your first Eagle Scout, and that when you were not just the Life to Eagle coordinator, but as Scoutmaster, that you were basically my scouting brother, so thank you. All right, if I could have the other Koss, the bald one, please come up. My bad. Mr. Koss is getting his pin for him not just being my first Scoutmaster, but my other scouting mentor. And when he was my Scoutmaster in the very beginning, I was great to call him my scouting father. And you can come closer. And I thank you for being there for me the entire 8 years I was in your troop. Then if I could have Mr. Jim Onsager please come up. He was my second Scoutmaster. He took over during the pandemic, during COVID. He was there for us during all the virtual meetings, all of the time after. We had to wear masks and all that. So I thank you for you doing it during the hardest time probably to be a Scout leader. Times that you've taken us to camp and all the new traditions that we've started. So thank you. All right, I'm gonna have 2 people come at once. So if I could have Mr. Bill Engelhart and Mr. John Arndt, please come up. So this kind of goes for both of you. I think that you adopted me into 601 when times were hard. Thank you, Mr. Arndt, for being there for my project. And thank you, Mr. Engelhart, for always stepping up for me. So thank you. So the other two people on my list are not here today due to other inconveniences, but I have Mr. Mike Luffel from 601 along with Dustin Dumay. Mr. Luffel was on my board of review on March 5th when I transitioned to hopefully being an Eagle, and I did. He was there helping me on my projects. He was there helping me being there on my board, and was also there for me as just somebody to talk to when I needed it. And then Dustin, he helped me with my last minute merit badges, so I'm thankful that he helped me with that. Him being up at camp was also an honor, being under his guidance and having them here for me. And then my final one is, I lost my grandmother in January, and so she got a pin. It's buried with her currently. That goes on behalf of all my grandmothers and grandfathers, so if I could have my grandma just please stand. And that's all I got.
Thanks, guys. For not being eloquent speakers, they certainly were eloquent, weren't they? You know, you see some of these guys walking around, they kind of walk around like this because they got so many of these pins, these mentor pins. And, I mean, if you think of that, every one of those represents an Eagle Scout with these people. It represents hours and hours, if not months and years of work, hard work, to get these guys to where they are today. So, you know, I'd like to say again, the appreciation for those guys is immense throughout this organization. Thank you. And I speak from experience that it really isn't work. It doesn't feel like work. It's absolute pleasure to work with these guys to get them to this point in their career. Just 1 second. Okay, now it's my turn. I know you're tired. I am too. You've been sitting there a long time, and I've been charged with giving you, if I can get this thing open, the Scoutmaster's Minute. And I promise I will try to keep it to a minute. Maybe not. Yeah, I'll keep it to a minute. I'll be brief. Take my glasses off because I can't read with my glasses on. That's what happens to you, you know. At the end of each meeting with Troop 316, for many years, I give a Scoutmaster's Minute. And it's a little story normally with a meaning at the end, kind of a proverb type of thing. This one is called Acres of Diamonds. I haven't told this story for a long, long, long time. So you guys get to hear it now. There are a lot of versions of this out there somewhere. This is the one that I heard. So once there was a man whose name is now lost to history. So we will call him Joseph. Joseph owned a farm near Pretoria in South Africa. He was quite successful. He lived a good life on his farm. And then one day a friend who he hadn't seen for many years stopped by. And after dinner, the friend reached into his pocket and he pulled out a shiny stone. It was the size of a small pebble. And he showed it to Joseph. And he explained that it was a cut diamond. And Joseph was absolutely awed by this. His friend explained that there was a fortune to be made in looking for diamonds. So Joseph sold his farm, and off he went to look for diamonds. He traveled all over Africa, looking for the elusive diamonds, and after many years, we find Joseph, penniless and broken, on a cliffside near the Pillars of Hercules at the very top of North Africa. Now we don't know what became of Joseph. Some people said that he crossed the ocean to prospect for gold in the Americas. But meanwhile, back on the farm, the man that Joseph sold the farm to was out looking for a lost cow, and he found it down by the creek that ran through his property. As he was walking along the creek, he glanced down and saw a sparkling stone in the water that he picked up. He showed it to a friend of his who knew a geologist who confirmed that it was a large diamond. The farm was eventually sold to a company known as De Beers. De Beers would become the largest diamond company in the world. The Premier Mine was registered on the site of Joseph's farm in 1902. In 1904, the Cullinan diamond was discovered. This was the largest rough diamond ever found, weighing in at a whopping 3,106 carats. It was eventually cut into numbered stones, and two of the largest are the Great Star of Africa, which is in the scepter of the King of England, and the Star of Africa, which is in the English crown. The Star of Africa weighed 317 carats, and the Great Star of Africa was 530 carats. If you ever go to the Tower of London, see that. It's huge. The worth of the Cullinan diamond alone is estimated in the billions of dollars today. On every acre of Joseph's farm, hundreds of diamonds were found. The mine became one of the largest diamond mines on earth, and it was called the Big Hole by the locals for many years. If Joseph had only looked closer before running off to find his fortune. Opportunities like diamonds are hard to come by, elusive, hard to find when you're looking in the wrong place. But sometimes they're right around you, and you just have to look a little closer to discover them. Scouting can provide the tools to open the way to opportunity, merit badges, camping programs, leadership roles, and many life lessons not necessarily taught in schools. Right there in your own backyard, ready for you to pick up. And if I could have Pastor Stu come up for a closing prayer.
Boys, I just want to say one thing. You don't know me at all. We've just never even met. But I want to congratulate you. I want to say to you, I know you better than you to be like to know. I have two people myself. And into the scouting program. And you look just like all the other Eagles that are known, and very, very highly happy. So I would like us all, would you just hold your hand out to these people? We're going to have a benediction. May you keep yourself physically strong, mentally awake, morally straight. May you lead by influence not by your title alone. May you lead with the continuous mix of humility, strength, example, and force. And may you build into the lives of other young men, future Eagles, for all of your days. And may the great Scoutmaster of all time be with us until we all meet again.
I'm going to close this out, so if everyone can please stand. Can color guard please receive the colors? Proper hand salute. Attendees are all dismissed, and Troop 316 and the families of the new Eagle Scouts can join us in the back for cake and refreshments and a meet and greet with the Eagles.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being here. And please join us in the back.